Chinapa, round 2 on Untriggered.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
I had to do it, man. I had so much fun the last time. Talking for an hour, didn't fall asleep.
No,
Good
That was a first.
the other day I was just like, I went to the living room after I texted you and I was like, guys, let's do another episode with Nikhil. And they were like, how come we've already done? I was like, nothing. I feel like there's more to talk about.
There's a lot more to talk about.
Yeah. The last time we started talking about some fun things, you were telling us about how Netflix has different thumbnails. And you put out that clip and everyone was like,
no, a lot of people are like, this is not news. Like, this has been going on forever. This, like, pseudo guy is talking like he really knows tech. Well, this is, like, bullshit. It's so basic. I'm like, okay. Maybe it was basic.
You got hate for that episode? Like,
I saw some of the comments. I mean, one person said that it was actually very basic tech. And I wasn't aware it was basic tech. I was actually quite mind blown by the fact when I first discovered it.
Basic for you may not be basic for someone else, right?
He might be a tech CEO. I don't know. Like, he knows.
He was just trying to show off, probably.
Basic is like a Gen Z slang where you describe people also like that. You're like, oh, that's a basic girl.
No, but realistically speaking, which gen are we in now? Have we transitioned to alpha or are we still at Z?
Z is like 97 onwards.
No, man. Don't categorize us in Z.
We are now.
97
to 2000 is still Gen Z. But we are in that weird part of Gen Z where we've had a millennial upbringing. But
we are on the edge, basically. We are like
I think we should call ourselves zillennial. Like, it's a mix of the two.
No, I feel like you're truly Gen Z if you're born in 97, 98. If you've had like kind of if you've grown up in a well-to-do household.
I just wanted you guys to know that if you're trying to demystify your existence, it's not working. You're not making any sense.
Okay.
To me, to people watching this, or to yourselves.
I just don't like that term. Like Gen Z, it's like gotten on my nerves now. Because we talk to brands and stuff, right? To like get sponsors. And this is what the meetings sound like. So we want you to come up with some organic Gen Z content which caters to the Gen Z. And did I mention that Gen Z should relate to it? And like hearing that again and again, I was like, bhai.
So usually these are people who have absolutely no clue what they're talking about.
Yeah.
Or have never gone and experienced life in a real sense. And if you've just gotten offended by this, I'm not apologizing because you know it's true. It happened a lot in the music business as well. You know, people want to just categorize music into neat little boxes so they could be sold by music executives under these neat little box categories. And I think that's what marketing folks might try and do sometimes. You remember when being a trending hashtag was considered to be like, it is so cool. And you know, guys who handle social media accounts would brag about the fact that my hashtag was trending for 4 hours, bro. Trending nationwide for 4 hours. Right, how many tickets did you sell? 2. It makes no difference. I mean, you're using all the wrong kind of metrics, if you want to use that word, to measure what the heck you're supposed to be doing. So Gen Z, Gen Alpha, Millennial. The point is, get that same person who's talking about Gen Z to describe vibe. If you're able to pass the vibe check, then we can have a conversation about how you want to market your product.
Yeah, that's fair.
If you don't pass the vibe check, then you don't have any clue about what you're talking about.
Yeah.
You're just here for the salary.
Yeah. Vibe is also another one of those words where like people use the word vibe to describe. Vibe check is still fine, but like they're like, oh, we should vibe to this. What does that mean?
We should vibe to this.
Oh, if you really want to mess with their heads, say that, you know, I think this is a product I would like to fuck with. And have their heads explode. What do you mean by that? Does it mean you like it? You don't?
Fuck with it.
I fuck with it.
Yeah, I fuck with it.
Yeah.
But I think fuck with it at least has like a more positive outlook.
No, bro.
No?
I mean, the generation of the marketing dudes and the sales dudes, they think you're abusing it. They think like,
let's try it out next time.
This is an artist I would like to fuck with. They probably think you want to get into a fight with them.
Yeah.
Oh.
Have you seen that Osho clip where he's talking about how versatile the word fuck is?
Yeah.
I may have seen it sometime after college. I have a vague recollection of it. But I really do think, I mean, it can be used in so many different ways, affectionately, aggressively. What's the other word what's the thing that I like to use? Wait, it'll come to me.
Yeah.
Passive aggressively. I love that expression.
Yeah.
Passive aggressive.
Yeah, my dad had sent me that clip recently.
Yeah?
No shows.
Yeah, that's your
When
dad
he's
trying to be
explaining.
cool.
Yeah.
Like, look, I also see all
Yeah.
this.
No, he's just sending me random reels nowadays.
Hold on, wife
Yeah.
calling.
Yes.
Hi, Pearl. I'm doing a live podcast right now, and this is being recorded. Hi. All good. I'll be finishing the podcast in about. Can I put you on speakerphone? Hold on.
Yeah.
You're on speakerphone right now. Yes, you're on speaker right now.
Don't do that.
I just
Hello,
did.
everyone.
Uh,
Sorry to pop in like this.
the boys are. Have you? Oh, you haven't seen the Untriggered podcast, right? They're really irreverent boys, and they tend to be quite horny.
Excuse me.
Oh, I'm ready on this call.
Yeah, you should.
Come on,
You should
man.
buy.
That's not how you said it.
Sorry, Pearl. Sorry, I had to do that to you. Sorry.
She's not going to watch.
I think this is the first time a guest wife has called during the podcast.
No, I think she had called last time also.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you can't.
He
you can't
has to
really-
keep checking in.
No, you really can't. Like,
You can't
when
not
the
answer.
wife is calling, you pick up, I think.
Yeah.
Dude, she's my guiding light. She's the reason I've done all the things that I've done in the music space. It's basically been her vision, her ideas. She's like the architect and I'm the contractor.
How old were you when you guys met?
I met her in 2000. That would put me at about 26.
26.
Yeah.
Okay. And you've been together since?
There was a brief period that we broke up and we went our separate ways for 6 months, realized that it wasn't working out, us being separate, and then we got back together and then decided to get married.
So it's been what, like 8 years, 10 years now?
Since we got married? 2006. Got married in
lot more.
2006.
Okay.
We got engaged in 2004 or 5, then we broke up and then we got back together. Yeah.
You better have your dates right if she's watching this.
Dude, so here's what I did. I decided to ask her to go out with me, like officially, because girls,
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
is important, on a date that I knew that I would not forget.
That being?
Gandhi Jayanti.
Okay. 2nd October.
2nd of October.
Dry day. Dry day.
On a dry day. So you knew you were taking your decision sober.
Just to make sure, because,
But what is that like, being married to someone for so long? Like, for us now, we're just like, we've just started thinking about like maybe getting into a relationship, and because we've been in relationships before, but now it's like either you make up your mind that I want to be in a solid relationship and then you seek that, or you're just fucking around for whenever until you're ready. I don't think just seeing someone for a while, then getting to know them more and then deciding to get in a serious, I don't think that works. For me, at least, it hasn't worked. Because then you just end up wasting a bunch of time.
I mean, if you're asking me for relationship advice, I don't know whether I'm the right person because
I mean, it looks
Yeah, I
like...
mean,
it
yeah.
looks
I mean,
like
you've
on
been
paper.
together for
amongst the
25
four
years.
of us,
But-
you seem like you're the best at it.
listen,
You have the best track record. over
Yes.
I'm also a bit of a passenger and an observer, and I like the word that you used earlier on, the zillennial. And I genuinely believe that my generation is probably going to be the last generation that is going to see more people stay married forever than less. We're seeing more and more people separating, and sometimes they're for genuine reasons, and sometimes they're for reasons where the couple is just not willing to work together on an issue, and sometimes get on together, even though there are differences in a relationship. That's going to become more and more hard because more individuals today are asserting their individuality, guys and girls. We've seen this for a long time, especially in the generation that I'm from. My generation and the generation before me was when they really started to focus on girls' education. And parents would educate their daughters highly. They would excel in academics. They would excel in life. They would start their careers. And then when they got married, the same parents would tell their daughters to compromise because, you have to adjust. They would never tell the boys to do this. They would always tell the girls. And over time, girls have gone, no. I think if we're going to adjust, we both need to adjust, right? And if we're not, then maybe this is not the right relationship for me to be in. And I think we're going to see more and more of that because boys are still brought up largely, I believe, in our society by parents who think that the sun shines out of their ass. And they grow up with that. And it starts when you're 2 and 3 years old. I think we spoke about this last time. That the way I treat my wife gets imprinted on my daughter even before she learns to walk and talk.
Correct.
Yeah.
Right. So she expects that from her partner when she grows up. Right. And if you're treating your wife badly in front of your kids, then that's what they expect growing up, and that imprinting happens over time. So yeah, boys, even though you're saying it's an equal society, we respect women, but beyond the point, it's like, no, I'm the boy, I'm the man.
Yeah.
Do what I'm telling you to do. That has to change.
I mean, that's a factor in like marriages not happening. They're like, I don't want to get married now.
Well, there's also really strange. I was having a conversation with someone who said that one couple was getting divorced because the guy refused to pick up the girl's mother from the airport. So it is also frivolous to the point of being idiotic.
That is so stupid.
But it is stupid. That's what I'm saying. People are not willing to go, wait a minute, let's just sit down and work through this. And if we can't work through this, that's okay. We'll just it'll be a scar that we'll carry, but we'll get through with it because it's more important for us to be together as a family or whatever. So it is hard work. Relationships are hard work. If anybody tells you it's all sunshine and flowers, that's bullshit.
Yeah.
No, it is. And also, I think for people our age, it's just that I'll open my Explore right now, okay, and you just see it's just like one girl after the other, and it's just like you're looking at that, and subconsciously you're always comparing, which is like it's not the right thing to do, but
comparing what?
Like your partner, you're like, okay, I'm with this, but I could be with this girl. Like, so before, like, you get married to someone, and on a daily basis, like, you'll meet an attractive girl at the store, and like, you look at her, she's attractive, and you walk by. But on social media, it's like, okay, let me like it and see. Maybe I'll follow.
Yeah. Also, there's
Maybe
more.
Let me reply to a story, and then it's just like. Because there is access. Before there was just like no access, so people always think they have options, but that's just toxic and it ruins everything.
I won't call it toxic, man. I think it's the nature of the environment that we live in. The reason I came across this term recently, body count has become an issue now, is because there are options. You have the opportunity to be with multiple partners and to explore your own body, your sexuality, and to live your life in that manner. But then beyond a point, and there comes a point in everybody's life, I think, and now that I'm at that age where I can look back at the past 10 years and I can see a lot of my friends going through that phase, when you go, yeah, the sex is great, but what I really want is someone that I can like go and have a bagel with. Or go and like watch a movie with, or listen to them tell me about their favorite book, and I can tell them about my favorite movie. Compatibility and companionship takes precedence over sexuality. But I think at this age right now, the age that you guys are at, sexuality is key. That's what drives you. I mean, being sexual is what drives you. And I think that's fine.
Yeah.
But you will get to that point where you go,
I want to get breakfast.
yeah.
No, it's like now I just want to take a nap, like I just want to cuddle sometime. That's fun too,
There.
I feel like what I wanted at 21 was like the sexual act.
Dude, what you want at 22 is going to be different. What you want at 25 is going to be different. That's going to keep changing and evolving. And it's also a function of I have to say this, it's a function of technology as well. Like you said, you have access in your phones. I was talking to a friend of mine from Amsterdam who said that a lot of gay bars in Amsterdam had to shut down because of Grindr. And then you realize that the function that nightclubs and bars played was in getting people to socialize and meet because they wanted to have sex. They wanted to meet. Where else would you meet to hook up with somebody else? And once it became online, those places became irrelevant.
Yeah.
And a lot of these really great institutions, I mean, bars and clubs as institutions shut down because it all went online. That's horrible. Ew.
That is so interesting. Now they don't need to they can just message, right?
Yeah, man. But the idea of hanging out, making eye contact over a bar, buying somebody a drink, dancing with them.
That's a lot more organic.
Waiting till the end of the
Smelling
night.
their body odor.
Waiting till the end of it.
Where they're like a little too...
Buzz.
No, but that's what bars are. Like,
man.
When you go there, first everyone is just waiting for like the 3 drinks to go down. Because at the start of every night where you go, it's like nothing is happening. Everyone's just standing around.
Yeah.
Like in front
You
of
can
the DJ,
feel
there is that, like, what do you call it?
Yeah, you can feel the resistance. You
The
can
black
feel
hole.
It's a
Where
black
nobody
hole.
wants to
It's
go
like
there.
there's this energy where everyone's repelled, and then it just like moves in. And then
So that's one of the
It's the
reasons I'm not
alcohol.
a big fan of tables in clubs, nightclubs, because then you become insular. You're not talking to anybody else. You're not interacting. You're not socializing.
Yeah.
I kind of like the open spaces, the warehouse sort of spaces with just a long bar where you could accidentally meet somebody or have a conversation with somebody while you're ordering a drink.
Yeah.
So that's more sort of organic to the community that I love, which is we're all in this together. We're here for the music. We love each other.
As
It's
opposed
more-
to that like VIP service.
Bottle
culture,
service.
Bottle service.
Bottle service.
That is like
Not a fan of it,
Yeah.
but from a P&L point of view,
You need it.
you make more money selling one table than you do selling 100 tickets. Man.
That is
so
true.
it's hard, and artist fees are not going down anytime soon.
Yeah.
So as you start doing these bigger and bigger events, you need to sort of factor that in as well.
No, I mean, give them tables, give them good service, but like you don't have to be pouring champagne on the floor, is what I'm saying.
That is abhorrent, man. I mean, that culture of opening a bottle of champagne and spitting it on the floor. I mean,
I've never been able to wrap my head around it.
I no, it's very simple.
It's-
It's like I can afford to buy all these bottles and
No.
pour it on the
Waste
floor.
alcohol.
It's not
I
even
can
that.
throw it
It's
on the
like those
people,
people
वैसा.
who like pop the bottle and they'll shake it and all. Like,
Hmm.
I don't understand the logic behind why does it make you feel so good? Like how does it make you feel great about yourself that you're wasting so much alcohol and you're just like dirting people around you? For what joy?
I don't know. I think that I blame Formula One for that.
Yeah, even that was the
I kind of
closest that I
blame.
could get.
Yeah.
I feel like if you won a Formula One race, you get to
It
spray
warrants.
some champagne.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you've just gone out and you can afford a bottle, I don't think that's.
Yeah. But
I mean, if you want to
gets worse. It's
celebrate
like
the fact that you can afford.
free booze on New Year's Eve, and people are doing it with bottles of beer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's.
If you're doing it with beer, just
There was this
बंद कर देना ये
one
सब
time I
करना.
had gone out and there was this guy who bought the champagne bottle and he wanted to open it and spray it. So the management came running and they're like, you can't do this. So they took him to the side where the drain was there. He shook the bottle and sprayed it in the drain. He sprayed in the drain.
He
Like,
just really wanted to spray it, man.
I was like,
कहीं
what
भी
joy
छोड़
did you
दो.
get from doing that?
So I don't know where this trend came from. If it came from the internet and you're trying to be cool by emulating that, firstly, you're not scoring any girls by pouring champagne. I mean, I know you have a lot of money, which is what the girls are after, which is fine. It's okay. But that's not what's attracting the girls to you. And the fact that you're trying to be cool and individual by doing something that's a trend that you picked up on Instagram, I don't know how cool and individual that is.
Yeah.
So have a think about it.
What do you think is the move?
I think what you should do, if you really want to show how much money you have, you should drive your Lamborghini into the club and drive it out of a window.
To the club.
To say, I've got so much money, let
That
me
I
show you.
can pay for all of
Instead of
this.
spilling champagne, let me spill my Lamborghini out of the 19th floor onto the street.
Kill
That's
like a
myself
Fast
for
and
you.
that
Furious
would be.
scene.
See, now that's really showing not just
Yeah.
your wealth, but also class. It's a lot.
Yeah.
That'd be
It's a
ideal for
statement.
everyone, I think.
Because most of the time, the clubs, the champagne that they're giving you is the worst champagne in the world.
Yeah.
Not even champagne, it's just like some sparkly, bubbly
sparkling,
thing.
yeah.
Because they know they're going to be spilled, right? So they're not wasting any of the good stuff on that. So if you really want to show off, do it classily. Drive your car out of a window
Yeah.
I'd love to see someone
of a high
actually try
floor.
it.
Someone will do it, dude.
Don't attempt this at home.
I mean, the places that we've been to, we haven't seen too much of it. But like, you see clips online, and I'm just like, bro, what is this? What is happening? Like, you don't want to be around that. And I feel like the most fun venues to go to are the venues that don't offer that, where everyone is in the same room. Like, there is no special treatment for everyone. You could pay for the most expensive alcohol, but that's the most you can do, like with money.
I think we've reached a stage where we like
Bars.
small bars
Yeah.
where you can sit down, listen
Yeah.
to good music, have a conversation.
We
That's the-
we actually created a bit of a monster accidentally. We do this property in Goa called Satellite.
Yeah.
And 1 year at Satellite, we changed the console from where it was in the club. This was a club called La Rive, which is now Levels.
Yeah.
And we brought it to the other side of the club, and we had no place to put the VIP, so to speak. So we said, just put it behind the DJ console. Yeah. The guys went like, what? Nobody wants to stand behind the DJ console. VIP is like, you be in front, you look at the DJ's face. I'm like, bro, there's no other place to do it. We put it over there. So we put up like this chicken wire mesh between the DJ and the backstage area. And that year there were fights amongst people to try and get backstage because it became the coolest thing.
Yeah.
And now every single event that I see has backstage as
With
tickets
yeah.
being sold.
Yeah.
It is a monster that we've accidentally created. But it makes a lot of money
Yeah.
because you just have a whole bunch of people who just want to be seen.
Around the artist or
Backstage.
like around the creator.
It's
Because
the
even-
boiler room effect also, na? Where-
Not,
yeah.
yeah.
No,
you
as
wanna-
in when we build our backstage areas, now we build it with like a little bit of care. So it actually is the nicest place to be because there's great sound. You're not getting pushed around. You have great view of the club, the artist, and everything. But it was an accidental phenomenon. It wasn't sort of
yeah.
orchestrated.
Plus, I think for people, it also gives them that opportunity to put their stories
Yeah.
standing over there and showing the back of the
True.
It's
DJ.
a status move, right? Like I can be next to the artist when I'm at the club. सब लोग तुम audience में हो.
It's
And I'm
status
here.
without spilling a bottle of champagne.
Yeah, it's better.
What do you think about meet and greet passes? Are you a fan?
I don't have an issue with it. I think it's great to allow fans access to their favorite stars, especially when their stars live halfway across the world and they come to your city for a music festival. I'm not a big fan of doing it like a conveyor belt where you can everybody comes, take a photograph, go, come take a photograph, go.
Yeah.
It would be great, and I think it works both ways. It'd be great for fans and the artist to have like 5 minutes of a meaningful conversation. But it's very difficult to find that fan who wants to have a meaningful conversation because most people just want a picture for the gram.
Yeah.
So you don't really know, who's
How
being
to
genuine or
get that.
who's not.
Yeah.
But because I know I've been a fan all my life of some of the bands that I've grown up listening to. And it would be great. Like I never wanted to get Aerosmith's autograph. I never wanted to like get an autograph of Iron Maiden. But to be able to sit down and talk to them about their life and where they've come from. Of course, it would do their head in if they did this with fans across the world. But for me, that would be meaningful.
Yeah.
To sit down and basically spend like a few minutes having a conversation rather than here's the picture and off you go.
No, there are people that you've grown up watching, and somewhere you just feel like if we sat down to talk, I feel like we'd get along. Like there's people like you look
Diplo,
at.
bro, like
Like,
genuinely in
I'm
my
like,
head,
if
sit
we
down
sat
with
down
him.
with Diplo, I feel like we'll have fun. Or someone even like Shah Rukh, I feel like most people they're like, hey, I could, I feel like if he sat down here one day, it'd be like he'd have fun.
I
So-
think he would too. I think you
So-
should definitely get him on the show. I've interacted with him a few times, and he is incredible for the amount of time he has to spend on people that he barely knows, and he makes it a point to acknowledge everyone in the room while entering and while leaving, and that's a quality that not too many people have, and I think that sets him apart from a lot of other actors in the business across the world, not just in India. But I will say this, that if you do sit him in this chair, you're going to spend about an hour getting him to break down Shah Rukh.
Yeah.
Peel away a lot of layers. Because it is all him, I think. I don't know him very well. I'm not going to try and pretend like I do. But I think there's so many layers of what he does before you'll actually get into who he really is.
Yeah.
And all the things that he does, they're all genuine and all nice, and they all come from him. Nobody's manufactured it for him. But I think there are a lot of layers of the onion.
Yeah, I mean, and I think you build those many layers when you become the biggest star in the world, almost. And you're like, you don't get to.
I think he was always like that, bro. That's my gut feeling, that Shah Rukh has always played Shah Rukh, even to himself in real life.
But I think that comes
only,
from.
I think he's only himself when he's looking in the mirror and brushing his teeth,
Yeah.
like by himself.
I think that comes from a place where I think he always knew that he's a star before he
Arguably
even
true.
became a star.
Arguably true.
Like he knew that this is what I am and this is.
what my worth
I
is.
watched that first
Yeah.
TV serial of his, and even as a kid, I was instantly drawn to him on the screen. He always had that quality where, in a group of people, you would look at him on the screen. He always had that quality.
Yeah.
Fake it till you make it, I guess.
I don't know, bro. I don't
Like
know.
not,
who-
but that's
How does that fit in here?
because he's always had that in his mind. So I think he naturally was drawn to becoming a superstar because from day one probably he knew, or he
Or it's
always
just
told
charisma.
himself
It's just charisma.
That too, maybe.
Inbuilt charisma that.
where you repeatedly tell it to yourself. I think.
So what's your story? Why did you guys believe that a bunch of guys just talking on the microphone would be something that would interest other people or make you money? In this case, it does both.
I mean, I knew. I think I was aware enough to know that a bunch of guys talking won't interest people. Your opinion, like if I want people to care about my opinion, there needs to be some credibility. So like we kind of went in heavy to earn that. Like why should you listen to us? Why would you? I knew it would work at some point, but like it's a lot of the effort that goes behind the scenes is what's made it to be here. Because right now also there's a lot of people doing podcasts.
Yeah, I mean,
Just
we
the same
have some
formula.
footage of some of the effort that went into making this show possible behind the scenes.
Yeah.
It is a lot of work.
No, but I think what works for us is the natural friendship that we have, and we've been friends for over 10 years. So
I mean, I'll go one step further and say what also works is that when you do stuff that is clickbaitable, it doesn't come across as being forced. It just comes across as a natural extension to the conversation that
yeah,
a bunch of guys would be having.
yeah,
It
we
doesn't feel
never
like,
want to.
we are now going to ask a controversial question.
Yeah.
If it comes up, it comes up. Like I know I'm missing out on so many views by not asking some of the questions that people would like go on a podcast and it would be like a template. These 5 questions though I have to ask. I will try to bring it up in the conversation. I'll try to stir the conversation there naturally, but if it doesn't go there, I'm not too fussed. Like I know we'll do like someone like you, I know you'll keep coming back on this show. I feel like as we just go, like
Man,
how
just-
I felt like
I'm just here for the coffee, bro.
no. See, that's
it
the,
that
that's the
good?
goal. Like, we want to get guests and have them on again. Like, we want this to go beyond just that one interview. So, we try our best to become friends with the guests.
So are you bringing Miss Pandey back on?
Oh wow. He's
I mean-
directing our
I mean, listen. I watched a little bit of the clip that you made after she was born again,
Yeah.
and man,
New
I'd
life.
watch the episode if you brought her back on,
Yeah, I know. I mean,
and you know she'd come.
she'd come.
She would.
She'd do anything.
If she can die and come back, then anything is possible.
What do you think about that? Because I said what she wanted to do, it worked. And for someone who had nothing to lose, it kind of made sense for her to pull a stunt like that. And if it got people talking, okay, like she got what she wanted. But
Exactly, she got what she wanted. It's not what she said she wanted. She
Yeah.
didn't. I
Yeah.
don't believe that she wanted to raise awareness for anything. I think she wanted attention on herself, and she got what she wanted.
but if it did raise awareness, isn't it like
It's
it's a good thing, right?
It's
Technically,
it
I
was
don't-
not the best way to
I
go
don't.
about
I don't
it.
think it's raised any awareness.
No?
What have you discovered about cervical cancer, and the vaccine for it?
I
by
don't
watching
think,
that clip?
but I don't think we are the people, because I knew what cervical cancer was before this happened. But I feel like
why would you not be the target audience? Your partner is susceptible to cervical cancer just as much as a woman is. I'm assuming
No,
if your
for sure.
partner's a woman, that is.
no, for sure. But like we spoke to a bunch of girls about this when it happened, and they all knew what cervical cancer was, and they knew they had to take the vaccine. Either they had taken it or they were going to take it. But I feel like if you go to a tier 2 or a tier 3 city where there's a lot of people who, because Poonam Pandey, everyone kind of knows her but doesn't really know. They just know that she exists. And her suddenly dying out of nowhere due to this disease, they're like, oh, if someone as young as her can go, maybe we should I feel like it's, even if it's like 2%, I feel like it's done something. No?
I mean, there's no way to actually determine what the fallout or what percentage of people may have actually researched cervical cancer out of it. But having grown up in cities like Agra and Secunderabad and still remembering what it was like to be in those communities and those cities, my gut feeling is that most people would respond to that in a way where they said, oh, this famous person faked her death to raise, to draw attention to herself, and then she
They
came
won't
back.
remember the
I don't
reason.
think they will get into the details of what she faked her death
Okay.
over. That's my feeling. Of course, I could be wrong.
I feel
There was an uptick in searches.
Yeah, of
for
course, like Google
HPV
searches
and
for
cervical
that
cancer. So
did raise.
if that's done something, great. But like, I feel like she has that reach where when she came to do the episode, like the security guards downstairs were taking pictures with her. They all knew who she was. So I'm like, okay, like everyone kind of knows her, so it must have done something. That's what I want to believe. Because it's the shittiest thing to do, like faking your own death. Like, we were all genuinely upset that day.
I saw the episode.
This was the next day where we were like,
yeah,
"Bro,
we were
you
like,
know
no,
what?
you could
know
not
what?
have come back.
Okay,
Yeah.
for me, the objective and the goal, if you're going to create awareness for HPV and cervical cancer, is for people to research how you can contract it,
Yeah.
because it is really easy to contract it.
Yeah.
HPV, not
Yeah.
cervical cancer. And if that is what was the focus of it, then it makes sense. But if you're not going to educate young boys and girls about how easy it is to contract HPV and why you need to be careful, or how you need to take precautions, then it's kind of like, hey, publicity stunt 101.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think 5 years down the line, we'll understand how effective this was.
Yeah.
Whether people will remember it for that, or just, like you said, a celebrity fake their death.
Are
That's
there
what we'll be
any?
able to
Are
do.
there any other stunts like this which
Celebrities
people-
faking their death?
Death? I don't know, but like there's been some like weird stunts celebrities have pulled.
Which ones? I can't remember.
Nothing as vague as this though, and no one else could have done it other than her. Because
I mean, I'll just go back to this one point. If we're going to get anything positive out of this, yes, there's an HPV vaccine that's out now. Is recommended for girls over the age of 14 up to 40. Is that right? I'm not exactly sure of the age. But as a guy, what role can you play in making sure that your partner does not get HPV? Why don't you Google search that? It's not just a disease for girls. Guys play a part in it as well. Can play a part in it as well. So if that Google search goes up because of this episode,
Yeah.
I'll be happy.
And none of us had to die. Yeah. I don't know, bro. Like when I think of celebrity scandals, I think of Kim
Kim
Kardashian.
Kardashian.
That was like wild.
do you know any scandals that we've had here, like in India, like in Bollywood or something like that?
I'm not connected to that world at all, bro.
Not at all?
Not at all.
Not
I
even
live
from
in a-
like MTV.
They stopped letting me do Bollywood interviews because I walked out of 2 interviews because the star was late. And they're like, oh, but you have to wait for them. I'm like, no, we don't. There's a time. At the end of the day, we're also MTV. It's a symbiotic relationship. They need us as much as we need them. And if they're just going to be disrespectful of people and their time, then I'm not hanging around. So then they took me off interviews and they put somebody else onto it.
Oh shit.
Somebody else.
So I don't
overweight.
really. Somebody else with a lot more patience.
Yeah. I'm so glad we spent some time looking outside so we weren't that late.
No, that's why we have a studio at home
Yeah.
now. So like if you're late, just like come whenever we're at home.
Yeah.
We're ready.
You know, the one
That's
person
fun.
was never ever late on shoot, with amongst all the people that I've worked with, and all of my co-features have at some point in time. I've been late, they've been late. The one person who's never ever late, and if she's even a minute late, she will come and personally apologize to you and to the crew. Is Sunny Leone. She is super professional.
Yeah.
The most professional person that I've worked with in the industry over the 20 years that I've been there.
I think that's because she hasn't grown up here, so her timing is like not the Indian.
It's also, I think, inherently her work ethic is, it's not just about where she grew up and the work ethic that she imbibed from there. It's her as a person. It's what she believes in. You have stars who will come and, you know, buy biryani for the whole set and say, "Main sabke liye biryani leke aaya hu," and you know, try and be fake about it. Sunny is not 1% fake, bro. Everything that she said, like, if she comes and apologizes to you because she's 2 minutes late, she means that apology. It's not a, I need to do this because, you know, I'm a star and I want people to think that I'm humble and I'm really easy to get along with. She's for real.
Yeah. She's also one of those people that you know that she'll be fun.
To have a conversation.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think we should get
Have
her
you
on.
have you never done an interview with her?
No.
Come
No.
on.
No,
We
we
would
love
Yeah.
to.
Yeah, we would love to.
Not yet.
Okay.
And she also. She's
I'm gonna text Daniel and let him know.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
He's walked in today and he's gonna get us
Nikhil is sorting
episodes.
our guest lineup.
He's sorting our guest list.
Yeah, she is like even her presence on the shows that she's done is like quite fun. Like she's a good part. She's an integral part of every show that she's on. Even with Splitsvilla and
Yeah.
stuff, like she fits in so well in that
Yeah.
whole dynamic. You've done Splitsvilla yet? I think
Yeah.
you
I did, yeah.
you did
In
a
fact, the
couple.
last season of Splitsvilla I did was the first one that Sunny did, and she wasn't very comfortable in Hindi at that point in time. She still struggles a little bit with it. I mean, but she's a lot more comfortable now than what she was.
Yeah.
But you know what came through on that season of Splitsvilla was her inherent affection for all the contestants when they were either getting kicked out or there was a fight between them, and there was this little sort of girly older sister side of hers that came out during that show, which was amazing to see,
Yeah.
and was all genuine. She would really feel for the contestants and feel what they were going through when this was happening. And I think that endeared her, not just to the contestants, but the people watching the show as well.
Yeah, I mean, that show is kind of wild. So, like, even as an audience, sometimes you're like, okay, I feel kind of bad for what they're going through at the moment.
It is that.
Because it's all on camera, to go through all of those emotions on camera.
I couldn't do it. Could you guys be a contestant on Splits or Roadies?
Maybe.
I've never watched it.
Roadies, I don't think we're fit enough to do roadies.
It's not a
Roadies is out of question.
There's
for
no
us.
chance, but
It is a different. I mean, being
Yeah,
a
it's
reality show contestant is
Yeah.
like
It's very taxing.
it's a different mental thing, and I don't say that in a negative way. It's hard because now people that are coming on reality shows, they're studying shows and doing it because they want to win. Nobody comes onto a show and wants to get kicked out in the first or second episode. So they're really like working on what they're going to do, how they're going to do. And mentally, it is phenomenally taxing because you're dealing with 20 or 25 other contestants, all of whom want to make sure that you get kicked out before they get kicked out.
Yeah.
And it's rough.
it's a good format. I like Splitsvilla's format. When I was a teenager, I used to watch a lot of Splitsvilla.
For the format,
Yeah.
I get it. Yeah.
It's like you go out and you play games with girls and you win an award at the end of it.
So that's what you've learned.
हाँ?
Doing that in real life
मतलब
now.
तेरे से सीखा हुआ है ये सब.
See, Roadies and Splitsvilla are shows where you're like, there is actual games happening, and even like personality-based games
Yes.
where you're like playing it in the background.
Yeah.
There's shows like Big Boss now that used to be that. But Big Boss has become like this thing where it's just like, oh, if you're the most famous person is going to win because they do voting. I don't know how legit the voting is, but it's like
I don't know.
you could be whoever and still win the show.
Yeah,
right?
but there are still tasks, right? Like
But
these
the
games,
tasks
there's.
do nothing. Like,
I mean, if you
Do
win
they
the
not?
task, they can't
But-
take you out of the game,
but
right?
if you're popular, they're not going to kick you out anyway.
Yeah, they'll
'cause-
make sure you're there till the end.
So it's like being good with everyone and also being good at the game. So it's obviously taxing and not many people can do it. It's not easy.
I don't know, man. I feel like,
You think you can win Splitsvilla?
I don't know. I've never imagined myself in that situation.
I can make a call.
Nicholas, you have to sort everything out today, bro.
Yugo would be good on Splitsvilla, I feel like. Like,
Yeah,
I
I
feel like
think so.
you're the...
I think I
Why-
could do
I've-
it.
I don't
See-
know what the concept is. I've never watched a full episode.
It's technically it's supposed to be single guys and single girls put together in a house.
Check.
And then they compete against each other in different sort of games. The underlying theme is
Love.
romance and
Yeah.
love, and then eventually somebody wins.
You have to find your ideal match.
Compatibility.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the judges, I think they decide if this is real or like if what you guys have is real or fake.
I mean,
or-
they change the format. They tweak it a little bit year on year. I haven't watched the show in a few years, so I'm not sure exactly where they are right now. But you are competing with other people. There is a love quotient to it. There's a competitive angle to it, of course. And the games and the tasks are designed around romance and being naughty and
yeah.
things like that.
Like
So
there's
you
always
go-
a pool. There's always a
there's always a pool.
There's a pool task on
Let's do
it.
it.
There's usually chocolate sauce in every season somewhere.
That sounds good.
is that the most fun show you've done? Like out of
The fun, no, I mean, for me, the fun was on roadies when we used to get to hang out because the crew are like family. So hanging out with them for a month and traveling with them, that was the fun. Doing the show itself is, it's a show. It's a
Yeah.
gig. You roll up, you put your makeup on, you make sure you do the things that you're supposed to do. So it's not really fun as such. The show that I loved the most was MTV Select, which I did for 11 years, which was just stand in front of a camera and play requests for callers who called in and spoke about how much they loved the Backstreet Boys or Aqua. And Celine Dion, My Heart Will Go On. My God, the number of times that song got played. I want to jump off the Titanic myself at the end of it. It was horrible. But you guys have started DJing now.
Yes.
I've been DJing for like 8 years now. That started before.
And you're
all of
playing at
this.
Supersonic this year.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Thanks to
Thank
you.
you so much for getting that done for us.
I made that.
He's sorting this out too much, bro,
More for
today.
us than our management.
I saw what you guys did at the house party, and it just looked like so much fun.
Yeah.
And we have a new stage at Supersonic this year being programmed by Freak, which is the club in Pune, and they're just doing a stage of just like fun music and like fun
Yeah.
times. And I spoke to the person who was programming the stage, and I said, we should try and put these guys on, and they were like, yes, for sure.
Yeah.
So an hour on Saturday, I think you're going up against Diplo. No, you're not. No, but
I would leave the set and I'd come to watch Diplo.
It'll be fun.
Yeah, it'll be fun because we did the house party tour. We did one in August when we had we moved to Bombay in June, and then we were like, okay, let's do some. We hadn't done any gigs in Bombay. All our gigs
We
were
only
in
were
Pune.
all in Pune.
Then we were like, you know what? Let's just do our own thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then we knew that the people who are going to come for this are people who watch us, so they know something about us. So we were like, we'll make it like a house party. Like whoever wants to come, just show up. And even the music is so house party like, because it starts with like a house set where everyone's just warming up. Then I play a hip hop set. Then we end the night with Bollywood. That's when, there is always that phase in a house party where Bollywood music starts. So it's just like it came together, and then we did.
It fit perfectly, I feel.
Yeah,
And that's what we did again in 4 cities.
because
It was fun.
that's where I played my first, I think, 10 to 15 DJ sets at house parties, where our friends would throw a party and they'd ask me to DJ, and it's just
If you
like,
keep doing this consistently, you have no idea how big you guys are going to be in 3 years' time.
in that space.
Specifically in this space, specifically in the music genre that you've spoken about, and keeping things open format.
Yeah.
Don't
Yeah.
get too serious with the music. Make sure everybody can sing along and have fun with it.
Exactly.
Because I can see music moving in that direction of being more open format, being more down tempo and low key. It's not just about high energy. It's not about lasers and confetti and smoke and fire. It's about being a part of a community, and you already have the community. I think belonging to a tribe and being a part of a culture is more important than being in front of the biggest stage at a music festival.
True.
Which is why I think that what you're doing, since you already have the community and you're building the culture around what you do on the podcast, this is going to win, like massively win, as long as you keep doing it consistently and you keep doing it to a certain level of excellence.
Yeah.
Well, finding your tribe has always been like, ever since people were a thing, it's always been there, and I don't think it'll ever go away. Now it's in the form of online communities, but before that it was like, I
think
don't know.
we may have spoken about this briefly last year as well, where I said that, for the past 10 years, marketeers have been talking about the experience. It's all about the
Yeah.
experience.
Yeah.
And, brands would come and say, we want to create an experience. And I'm not saying the experience has gone away. The experience is still very much a crucial part of whatever it is that you're offering. But I think culture is now as important as experiences, whether it's sneaker culture, whether it's podcast culture, whether it's culture of being of a certain age, watching a certain kind of movies or TV shows. And that is why I think what you guys are doing is very interesting, because it kind of sits at the intersection of all of these things. You've got the music, you've got the experience, you've got culture, you've got a bunch of relatively decent looking boys, kind of young, kind of
We'll take that as a
shaded.
compliment.
all of that pushes the envelope in the right direction.
Splitsvilla.
We need one more phone call.
Yeah. But no, you see that even with the biggest artists right now who are selling out shows, they all have that community aspect. I think
Fred
Fred
has
again,
nailed
like-
the community aspect.
you told me, I think he's got a Discord that
Yeah,
he
so
goes on and talks to
that's
people.
that's how he became Fred again. He used to be very interactive on Discord. He gave his pen drive to someone and he's like, just upload all these songs, and it's on Discord, like his original songs. You don't have to buy them, nothing. It's all on his Discord
His
channel.
record label must love him.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think these must have been his
Fucking
just before
Fred
he signed
again,
on.
man. फिर से pen drive दे दिया
Fred, yaar.
That's where the name comes from.
That's where it comes from. No, but he is a genius. Like, I feel he's really captured
But I
the
think they're
market.
making the money now. I
Oh,
think
just hang on a second.
Yeah.
I just need to confirm with my wife that I'm picking my daughter up from school.
Okay.
It's that time, because the 2:10 call is, are you going to school? Yes, I'm going to school to pick her up. Yeah, I'll be done in about 10 minutes and then I'll go to school. I'm in BKC, close by. Okay.
address leak.
It's okay.
Okay, got
Blur
it. Straight to art class. Got it.
What time was school you're over?
3.
Did you get yelled at or?
No,
like
bro. I'm in a marriage. Who ever gets yelled at in a marriage?
Nobody.
Nobody, man. It's honey and sunflowers and sunshine. There's no yelling and screaming ever.
Oh God.
This is your daughter. When it's a bad thing, it's always your daughter or your
हमारा
son.
बेटा बिगाड़ दिया है तुमने.
That has never happened. It's always the conversation is always around our
Us.
child. Yeah, so that it's never.
Do you
that's
guys
never-
do the ask your dad, ask your mom,
Not yet.
ping
no.
pong?
I
No?
think she's too
No.
young, no, for it.
Well, kids are really smart, and they learn how to play one against the other really quickly.
Big boss.
So we've been quite sort of conscious of saying, if your dad says so, then that's how it is. Or if your mom says so, then that's how it is. And then if we disagree with it, we'll try and have that conversation separately away from her. But in front of her, we've got to try and come across as a unit.
Wait till she finds this podcast 5 years down the line.
10 years down the line,
She'll
so
be like,
that's
"These
what they were doing. Mom!
Come and confront y'all. What is this? We'll add her the timestamp also. We'll make sure she sees it.
Sunny goes, go ask your dad. I don't know. Not again. You want to talk about... Okay, when is this episode going out? I think we'll put it out
come out.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Do you want to bring up the festival?
Yeah.
The festival, yeah. I mean, same points, man. It's the most fun weekend
Yeah.
that Pune City sees all year. So come out, enjoy the festival. We've been on the back foot even more than last year. This time around, we had an artist pull out. We had our Saturday headliner pull out 5 weeks ago, so we had to scramble to replace that headliner. So that's why announcements have been really late. But I'm looking forward to it. The crew's looking forward to it. I know the Superfam's going to be there in force as well. We've got you guys playing a set, which is going to be fun. I'm going to be there for that set for sure. And our techno lineup is actually one of the best lineups we've put together in a while. So the point that I've been making is that if you live in Bombay, which is literally down the road from Pune, and you're really into underground music, then why the heck wouldn't you just drive down the road and come and spend Saturday night and Sunday night with us and come back hungover on Monday to Bombay?
People are going to come out because Pune has evolved into this techno city, you know?
Yeah.
Like, everyone that we know is out with their sunglasses every weekend.
I wonder what that's about. I have a thyroid problem, which is why I wear sunglasses. I wonder
Yeah.
why are you wearing glasses?
At night, like
Is
what
the light troubling you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So no, Pune is the perfect city for that. I've been talking about how Pune is a better city to party in than
100%.
Bombay.
Bro,
Or maybe it's just for us.
That's only because you haven't been to this club in Thane called MH04, the Drunkard. It's a strange name, but it's built like a club in Berlin. I wish
For
Bombay City had a club like that because it's an
warehouse?
industrial sort of area,
Yeah.
and it's like a converted warehouse. It is fantastic. It is what Fire and Ice used to be before everything else came up around Fire and Ice. Just this massive room with a great sound system. Unfortunately, Bombay being the city that it is, with the high price points for rentals, it's very difficult to build a club
Yeah.
in a city like this.
Yeah.
Because the clubs only work on the weekends.
Yeah.
Then during the week, what do you do? You know, you're still paying rent, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, let's go party in Thane.
But before that, we'll go to Pune.
Correct.
No, but everything has become expensive. Even I feel like you mentioned the artist bookings. Like I feel like because we read online now, I don't know how close those estimates are, but some of those numbers.
What
are
you're reading
insane.
online is probably not true, but artist fees tend to be high, especially international artists that are headlining festival, high six figures. And I'm talking
especially if they're like
dollars.
popular right now.
Yeah.
If like they have a song out that's
Yeah.
doing very well, you're just like, is there anyone in the 7 figures and they're like consistently charging 7 figures in dollars?
7 figures. Yeah, there are a few artists that are in the 7 figures.
There are many, I feel.
There
Like,
are many. There are some that we've reached out to in the past. Yeah, it's not that unusual.
Can you say who's the most expensive booking you've ever done?
No.
can I guess? And you just like
Yeah.
Swedish House Mafia?
No.
No?
Swedish House Mafia came and played for me at a fee that they weren't playing anywhere else in the world. They played
Yeah.
for
They're
the
for the
lowest
love.
fee in India.
Wow.
I know, I was there for that.
This much I know. Because I know what offers they were rejecting for other territories because it's quite close to them at that stage. And the fee that they played for in India was the lowest that they ever played for.
Okay.
Skrillex?
Was high, not the highest.
Damn, not the highest.
You should get this.
I'm
Vastu.
thinking,
This is your
bro.
area.
No, it's gotta be like it's Macklemore maybe.
No.
Macklemore was
That's
great.
What about like
He
a
was-
Machine Gun
Oh.
Kelly?
No.
No, Eric Prydz wouldn't have been.
Could have been.
I feel like it's
Okay.
okay.
We get it. Prida.
I mean, deserved, man.
Yeah, that was a
like,
beautiful
Well,
set.
freaking deserved.
That was a very good set.
I wasn't even into music like that when we saw that set, but we were just like, we were all in that zone where we're like, what is happening around us? Like,
And-
this is like,
Like everyone is dialed in, and it's
The thing is, he
experience.
kept
He was so
switching.
dialed in.
Yeah.
After a set at the Blue Frog
Mhm.
that he played, he was in
Yeah.
tears. He was in tears after he finished the set. He had never seen that kind of love and that intensity in a room. And it was a small
Yeah.
room. I mean,
It was a very small
arguably
room.
the tiniest room that he'd played in for a very long time.
Yeah.
But the intensity in that room was, it was like a physical force. I could feel it. He could feel it.
Yeah.
yeah.
No, I remember his set very clearly because he switched from like Eric Prydz to Prida to Sires D back to Eric Prydz, and the visuals kept changing with it. And I don't think like people understood, but when you see it like suddenly turn green, you know he's Sires D is
But a
playing. and
lot of people who really follow his music, they
Yeah,
understood.
they
you know,
understood.
For
Like, only
them,
those
that was
people
such a
who understood.
seminal
it
gig.
was, I think, it was one of the most beautiful gigs. That year itself was too good.
Yeah. No, I'm looking forward to this
Yeah.
weekend.
Yeah.
This weekend is
more
going
of
to be a lot
more
of
of the
fun.
same.
Bro, you know, people keep talking about lineups. I think we spoke about this last
we
time. I
did.
was like, the lineup is obviously you're going there to watch artists, but like, I can't think of any music festivals that I've been to that haven't been fun. You know what I'm saying? Like, if there is a festival happening and you have time, you have money, I guess,
Go.
just go. Just go do it.
Yeah.
And if you,
Be there, be
really
free.
want to talk about lineup, yes, we've had bigger lineups in the past, but
For
we've
sure.
got the Midnight, we've got Diplo doing the after party, Major Lazer, Adam Beer, Yotto, Patrice Baumel. The techno lineup is insane. Hamdi, who plays
Oh, yeah, Hamdi
fantastic
is-
bass music.
Yeah.
I'm very excited to see him.
King has just built, again, when you're talking about
Yeah.
building
King.
communities
Mm.
around what you do as a
Yeah.
passion or your art, like how you guys have built your community. King has built this fabulous community around him and his music. And he's going to be headlining day one. So there's a lot on offer.
Mm.
You just need to step out of your freaking house, dude.
Yeah.
Just walk down the road and come.
Yes.
It's an experience, and
Yeah.
It's fun, yeah.
yeah, Supersonic has never disappointed, like quite genuine.
And now we have like a group that we go to festivals with, and it's just like everyone knows the drill. Like everyone knows exactly what to do, what time to be where, and it's
If
just
you
like
get lost, where to find each other.
yeah.
If
Yeah.
you get
In front
lost,
of
you're
the
not
sound
finding
control.
anyone.
For
No,
us
no,
though,
no,
it's
for-
a lot of fun. Like I'm not gonna lie. Ever since we've kind of become popular, also you're just like walking around. Everyone knows you. Everyone's like, because a festival is like where our audience is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that 16 to 24, 25 bracket.
Sweet spot.
They're all there.
Yeah, but this time
I
at,
didn't mean it that way. Sorry.
at Supersonic, you guys are going to have artist bands.
Okay.
Oh wow.
So that's going to be a different level of access for the festival.
Yeah.
Yes.
You can literally
Let's
go
go.
practically anywhere except into the production areas.
Mm.
Done. We've
Should
made
be
it.
fun. Yeah, man, this is gonna be fun.
From last year to bro, honestly,
Trajectory
like
has
I'm
been.
gonna say very genuinely, we both, I think we always wanted to be on a Supersonic lineup. At least I wanted to be. I don't know about you.
ऐसा मत बोल यार. Even
Like you know, for me it was always a very big thing. But thank you so much for making that happen for the two of
Cut
us.
to you playing at stage and 3 people in front of you. One of them is me.
Yeah. That's
At least-
perfectly fine. At
at
least
least
we're
on
on
the
the
line.
line.
And that girl he's seeing.
Yeah.
It's just the 3 of us.
Just the three of us.
she's like, is Yotto coming?
No, but this is a lot of fun.
Yeah, man. Thank you for doing
Thank
this
you so
again.
much.
Thanks for having me,
you're,
man.
Across.
You're always welcome.
Same
to
time
come
again
back
next
here.
year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Great.
And I think we'll see you directly on the weekend.
For
Yes,
sure. I'm
we'll
going to
catch you this
I'm going to go to the school run
Yeah.
now. Thanks,
Yes.
Tom.
Chalo. Let's go.
Thank you
Cheers.
See you.
Thank you.
Take care. See you. Thank you
And
so
cut.
much.
Unfortunately, can't hang around and chat.
No worries.